Hi there, it's Rhonda. Welcome to another Help Me Rhonda episode. This is episode number 3, and we are going to be talking about finding new customers. So, I had a couple questions come through. One of them was specifically from Linda, and she was very clear, very simple. I'm struggling on getting new customers and getting the word out about my business. I had several questions about how do I find new customers? It is a question that we've been answering for 24 years, and we will continue to always answer that question because it is the lifeblood, it is the core foundation of your business, is always finding new customers. And I will tell you that there are things that still work today that have worked all 24 years. And there are a lot of new ways that we can also find new customers with the growth of obviously social media and a lot of free resources in advertising. So I'm going to jump in today and give you a few tips on ways to find new customers. Now, before we get to that point, one of the things that I see a lot with demonstrators and the ones I'm working with that are struggling on getting new customers is they don't have anything to bring new customers into. So it's like we want new customers, we want people to buy from us, but how are they going to buy from you? Where are they going to buy from you? So before you can even get to that point, we first have to start with, what does your business look like? How are you going to stamp with people? How are you going to work with them? How are you going to teach them? How are you going to sit down and craft with them and them with other people? So you've got to start there first. So it's always like you want to say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So the thing is, if you're leading a horse, what are you leading them to in order for them to be able to drink? So you have to make sure that you're leading them to a pond or leading them to running water that is there for them to be able to drink. So my number one thing is you have to have a schedule. It's what I call a skeleton calendar. You have to have something to invite them to. If you are online, then you have to have weekly online times that you craft and you stamp and you teach. Or you have to have a month, at least a monthly class. I would prefer, if you're really truly wanting to build a business, that you have a weekly class. One of the most beautiful things I've got to experience this last year is actually watching my daughter build her business, and to go through all the same struggles, the same emotional ups and downs, and I'm teaching her the same things that I have continued to teach, and I've had the blessed ability to walk it along with her and watch her go through it, and be able to encourage her to say, keep going. You have to be consistent. Even if no one shows up this week, next week you're banking on it and continuing to keep trying. So she holds a weekly class every single week. It's consistent, same time, same place, same location. And some weeks she's had no one show up. In other weeks she's had 6 people, and she's done a good and sold, and sometimes she's had 2 people and has sold way more than when she's even had more people. So it is something about consistency, but you have to have a place to invite people to come to consistently. Now, again, I would recommend weekly, but you could also do just monthly. Our kit classes can be done every week because people can just drop in. You can keep some kits on hand so people can even drop in. Now, the card classes where you're designing the cards, cutting them, packing, prepping, and setting up your stations, those are a little bit more intense in the fact that you have to have firm RSVPs. People have to pay in advance, and those are good and they work. So maybe you even have 1 or 2 of those on your calendar each month, and then you fill in with kit parties on the other ones. So number 1 is you have to have a schedule to invite people to when you're meeting new people. When you do have a class and you have new people there, you have to have a place to invite them to come back to you, to build a customer, it's about consistency, repetition, and there are so many things that they're going to need to learn and to purchase and to buy. You have to have a place for them to come to all the time. Now, for those of you who are desiring to build online, concept is exactly the same. You'll just be holding your classes online on your Facebook page, Facebook group, or on a Zoom, via videos, but you've got to be consistently holding events. So that's number one. And number two is to have a schedule, a consistent schedule that you can pass out to people. You can tell them when to come. So let me give you an example of my daughter. Again, she held a class on Saturday. There were 8 people there. She did a kit class, and this one was actually a kit and cookie class, and she had 8 people come. For the next one, we already had the date. We already had a sample of what projects that they could pick, and she already has 5 people signed up for the next one. These are new people, and then we have some returners who come as well. But this is like her. I don't even know how many classes she's held, dozens. But it takes time, consistency, repetition. Now, she never would have had those 5 people sign up if we didn't already have her next month's dates, a schedule, a calendar ready to go. So that's my number big thing before we jump in to trying to build customers. You have to have the water to lead them to, and that means your skeleton calendar, your schedule of events. And yes, there has been many classes that she has had where she's had no one show up. She still uses that time wisely. She's still, designing for her next one, cutting for her next one, and just working in her office. But she sets that time aside for that class. All right, so those are some of the biggest things to start with. Then the next one is just getting out and stamping with people. They're one of the getting out and letting people know that you run a business. So I'm going to give you, there are dozens of ways to try to find new customers. Dozens. And so many people feel like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get new customers. Well, I can tell you right now, sitting in your craft room does not bring you new customers. You've got to get out of your comfort zone, believe in what you do, and get out there and craft with people and invite people to craft with you. Typically, starting a business or getting your business off the ground, you have to rely on, people that you know. I call it your circle of influence. People in your life who love you and trust you and will probably do anything for you. And you're going to ask them to come to your card classes and to invite friends to come with them, or for them to hold card classes of their own and invite people to attend them. Or again, if it's online, watch me, follow me, order my class. Like, I need your help to get started. And then you can branch out from there. Now, to me, it's a mixture of both. One of the ways that we've been really finding new customers in our local area lately is using Facebook. So posting every week what our classes that we've been holding, plus what we have coming up. Posting every week with like new kits that we're carrying, and inviting people constantly. We post in all of our local and area community pages. We post there once a week. So we'll not just the one that's directly in our community, but ones that are surrounding our community as well. We have absolutely gotten new people to come to our classes from doing that. So we're treating it like a business. Again, we have the dates ahead of time. This is when you can come, and obviously RSVP that you're coming. So using our free resources with Facebook has definitely been a way for us to find some new customers. A lot, and I mean a lot, of demonstrators use craft fairs to find new customers. Craft fairs work. If you want to find people who are like-minded, you got to hang out where the like-minded people go, and that is in craft fairs. And not just paper crafting. They could be in love with quilting, but then again, this is where you gather information. You gather names, leads, door prize forms, and you've got to be able to follow up with them. One of the things that I meant to say in the beginning about, again, having classes, having a schedule, from the very beginning, one of the things I see demonstrators that is a huge obstacle is you are not gathering email addresses from the very beginning. So at every single class that we hold, I always have a sign up sheet for their email. So new people put it on there, people just to confirm they have it on there, but continually and constantly gathering email addresses. Because again, if they come to a class or they bring a friend to a class, how are you going to be able to let them know about your next classes and your next classes and your next classes? So you have to be gathering and building an email list. So you can obviously use, for those of you who are trying to build online, the importance of an email list generator is extremely important. I use Constant Contact and have for probably 15 years, and they're an incredible resource and one of the main reasons why I've been able to grow my business online. But you have to have an online email service to truly grow an online business. Now, locally, you won't be gathering quite so many emails, but you still need to have an email list. So that way, every week, you can email them about when you have your upcoming classes and maybe show them a few little sneak peeks and invite them to come to your events. So make sure you have an active email list that you're using and growing. Yes, this is key to getting new customers. Don't do all the work. Don't do craft fairs and all the work to get new customers when you don't have any way to maintain that customer relationship. So email list, calendar of events, and consistency. Those three things have to be in place before you can even begin to want to find new customers. So I just wanted to give you some solid tips on that. So consistency is key to get new customers. You have a constant place to invite them to. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to find customers one at a time. So you want to be fostering them, so having your current customers continue to keep coming and then finding the customers one at a time. The second thing is to word of mouth. It's bribery. If you watched last week's episode, I talked about that, dangling the carrot, right? This is what I want. And so one of my main ways to find new customers is still today, for anything, is word of mouth. When I have a friend that I trust and love and she comes to me and says, oh my gosh, I just had the most fun, you have to come with me next time. I'm like, okay, good, I'm going. I don't even care where we're going. But I trust her and I love her and I want to spend time with her. We're going wherever she says. Word of mouth. And so sometimes you need to bribe people for that word of mouth. So a simple bring a friend incentive is really powerful. And most people don't like to go to things alone. They like to have a friend by their side or a sister or daughter-in-law. Most all new people that come to our events come with like them and their daughter or them and a friend or them and a coworker. So we want to encourage that behavior. Of course, we all know crafting is more fun when you have a friend by your side. So bribe them. A couple of things that I use for bribing are homemade cards. So I have card racks that people can purchase cards from, but then I also give them and their friend 5 free cards if they bring a new person to come to class. So they both are rewarded for that. The second one that I'll do may be to have like a basket of embellishments that are retired, maybe things from like the clearance rack or last chance list, or just ones that I bought and maybe retired and I didn't use. So I'll have a basket of like ribbons or gems, and I'll let them pick something out of there for free if they bring a new guest to my classes. Now remember, my classes, they have to pay for, they're product-based, so we're automatically getting the sales from it as well. So it's a mixture as you get started to find new customers, working from people that you know, and then also reaching out there. So yes, posting in those Facebook groups are really, really big. Being consistent, craft fairs, like getting out there and letting people know what you do, taking it seriously, collecting their information, adding to that email list, and having your schedule to pass out to everybody. Last but not least, one of my favorite ways to find new customers is to partner with other local businesses, partner with other direct sales people. So many things over the years, the ways that I have done this. I've partnered with Mary Kay, and I'll do a party for them, and then they'll do a party for me, and I'll meet people that way. Currently, I am partnering with a local cookie lady, and we do cookies and cards, and she invites her customer base, and I invite mine, and we both post on social media and tag each other in it. And she has brought new people every time, and I have brought new people every single time. We have partnered with local wineries and breweries. We have partnered with local restaurants and done classes there. We have partnered with our local coffee shop and did coffee in a card. We run like an actual class. That was like a $35 class, and they made cards and they got to get a coffee. And then, of course, they all wanted to buy more baked goods and other things. I've partnered with my local churches to do fundraisers, again, I could continue to keep going and keep going, but I'm always looking for, again, building my business in person. How can I partner with another business that also wants to grow their business, and then we can just feed off of each other and support each other? And it is always helps us to find new customers. So those are just some of the ways. Obviously, there's lots more. The biggest thing is you've got to get out there and actually craft with people. What we do is magic. It creates this euphoria in people, and they're going to want more and more and more of it. So you've got to have that consistent schedule. So it's not just about getting in contact with people. It's about having them get involved into your business. Ask yourself, what is your business? What are your hours? What are your classes? How can they learn from you? And if you cannot answer those questions clearly, then you're never going to find customers, because they'll never be able to develop into a customer. So start there first. Remember the whole build it and they will come. You've got to build it, and then you have to continue to invite them to come. All right, good luck. Again, this is our Help Me Rhonda episode. If you have, and I'm sure we'll be covering this topic again because I have lots more ideas. But for now, if you have any other questions, there's a link in this description that you can click on there and you can ask me your question, and we'll cover it in one of our upcoming Help Me Rhonda episodes. If you have more questions about, you would like more support, a whole community, we have over 600 people. 600 in our Creating Success training community. And we're all positive minded, looking to build our businesses and to learn and to share. Anyway, we have creative challenges, all kinds of things. Anyway, if you're looking for more support that way too, again, there are links in this description that you can click on, or feel free to ask us any questions. All right, I can't wait to hear from you on how you find new customers.